Hi, this is Yvon Prehn, and I would like to talk to you about Mother's Day and communications that will help you make the most of the often missed outreach and spiritual growth opportunities of that day. Let's get started. Mother's Day statistics. Mother's Day has the third highest attendance of any day at church, just behind Christmas and Easter. Now, if you weren't familiar with that statistic, you might think, now, why is that? Well, it's really sort of interesting why churches are full that day. They aren't full because of the moms that are there. They're full because of the unchurched spouses and kids that attend that day. Because of that, that makes it a fantastic evangelism opportunity. Now, it is still a very special day for moms. They're wonderful and important, but if that's your only focus, you will miss out on significant opportunities. Don't stop doing the wonderful traditions that you've been doing, but think about how much more you can do. Some of these things that you can do include encouraging the moms, not just celebrating them, but encouraging them. You want to invite them back for additional ministries. You want to invite unchurched family members. You want to welcome them, evangelize them, and then invite them back on a continuing basis. Now, for each of these opportunities, I have tips for you. And on the website, there are materials that you can use both in print and on your website. There are text files, publisher files, PDF files, resizable graphic images. For visitors, I have samples of these, and if you are a member of Effective Church Communications, everything is free, and all of the different things that I will be showing you in this presentation are yours to use, and I'll be giving you some tips on how to use them. If you're not a member, it's only $9.99 a month or $99 a year for an individual, and that will get you many, many resources and training materials. So think about it if you're not a member. Now, first of all, what we want to do on Mother's Day is we want to encourage the moms. Now, one of the things that you can encourage them to is to prayer. Now, many moms pray, but they need encouragement in that because sometimes they might not see with earthly eyes the result of their prayers. A number of years ago, I wrote up a story. This is a true story of a mom who had a son who was kind of straying and who, because of her prayers and God's grace, eventually became a great leader in the church. It's entitled One Mother's Prayers, and this has really encouraged a lot of people. I have it available for you as an invitation, a giveaway, however you want to use it in just every imaginable form. But this is something that I think you will find will really encourage the moms in your church. Also, you want to invite them to other ministries. Now, to do that, I have made up for you some little recipe cards. These are my recipes. They're perfectly legal for you to use, and both in a clip art format and a photo format of both an apple pie recipe. We always talk about moms and apple pies, so I thought this would be really appropriate. Plus, how to make a frozen pie crust look and taste homemade. Now, what you see down here, these are all the different versions I have for you. And again, for members, all of this is free, where you have the publisher files, the graphic image files, the print-off PDF files. So all of these things are available for you to use, and they're right there, ready to go. Now, this next one, I made it up for you, but I realized not everybody will want to do it. What this is these are some little bookmarks that last year I did this and it really turned out kind of neat. You can print them up on seeded computer paper. You buy it from this company. It's not cheap, but if you get quite a bit of it, and especially if you get more than one package, the shipping's kind of a pain in the neck. It's $9.64, but it costs the same amount for 4 packages as it does for just one. And so, you figure it out, and it ends up not really being all that much. But it's really neat because the paper's got little seeds in it, and you can give it as a bookmark and then sort of a gift, and then they can take it home and plant it, and little poppies and daisies and primroses will come up from it. So again, like I say, not something maybe everybody will want to do, but it's sort of a fun little thing, and that's the resource for it. Now, you also want to be very intentional about inviting unchurched family members. Now, equip your people to do this. tell them what you're going to be doing on Mother's Day. Very intentionally say, we want to make this an outreach for you. We are going to welcome your family members. We're going to get them excited about the Christian faith. We want them to meet our people and really let them know that this isn't just going to be something for moms, but it's really going to be a special outreach. Make up invitations for them. And also invite the entire church to pray. This is something that you can all be involved in. Now, I have made these up for you in either a half of an 8.5 by 11 or a quarter size page. And I've tried to do up things in very, just different styles. Different churches are different. Some are real traditional and some are kind of fun and funky, whatever. But once again, there is a publisher file, a PDF file that you could just print up and go with, and also graphics if you just perhaps wanted to put a notice in your bulletin. All of these are available for you. Or you can make up your own, whatever. But just do something, and these can be either handouts that you put in the bulletin. You can send them out as postcards. You can give them to your people, whatever. But just have a mechanism for people to invite their family members to come to church. Now, once they get there, you want to really welcome them. There's lots of fun things that you can do. Maybe have them visit adult Bible classes, kind of a takeoff on the open house at school, and they can see that, there's some really interesting people and they do interesting things. Have upbeat hosts and literature and information about church programs. Very intentionally have your people looking for visitors, and say every mom that has unchurched family members, she has all her friends praying, and when their family comes, really welcome them. A ministry fair can be very helpful also. Say you have a very active men's ministry, and an unchurched husband comes up and he sees, hey, these are, really manly guys, and boy, they're doing a build with Habitat for Humanity, and they get together and do this car thing once a month, and whatever. It might totally change his opinion of church. Same with the single adult program. Maybe an adult child does not realize that the church has activities and some great looking folks that are involved in them. You see, these kinds of things done up as a ministry fair could be a very big eye-opener for unchurched family members. Also, too, food. Think about a brunch for moms. All the restaurants are super busy that day. Maybe your church can do something and have a real special thing. Be very intentional about the church hosts. Once again, really welcoming people and just being really happy to see them, and some folks you might kind of need to warn them and say things like, don't you dare say, well, John, haven't seen you for about 6 months. Wouldn't hurt you to darken the door. You don't want to do that. You just want to be real upbeat and very positive. If you don't do a brunch, maybe an apple pie contest, the best pie, the most unusual, the biggest, the smallest, whatever. But food is always great. Food makes people happy. And so, have some for Mother's Day. And then you want to evangelize the family members. For those of you that are pastors and teachers there, really pray about this, but say what the mom can't. Moms love their kids and they hate to be away from them. And an eternity separated from a child is a heart-wrenching pain every single day. Kids that were raised in the church and aren't going anymore, they know that. And, our job is not always to make people feel falsely comfortable. We want to really challenge, and we want to do it in a loving way. It's not easy and it's not comfortable, but to not really speak the truth and not give unchurched kids and a spouse the opportunity to spend eternity with their mom that they both really love, that isn't caring, that isn't being loving. And then you want to follow up after the service. You want to honor the gospel by giving your unchurched guests an opportunity to find out more. Bulletin inserts or a notice that can direct them to websites can be really useful. Some of you that saw my stuff that I did at Easter, this is very similar. Kind of a fun little takeoff. This Mother's Day, give mom something better than flowers or chocolate. Better than flowers or chocolates. How can that be? Flowers are a treasured tradition and chocolate is, chocolate. What more could be said? But then it goes in and says, what even means more to mom is that if you would come back to church. but if you'd come to know Jesus. And here are some ways that you can find out about it. There's some great websites now. And honor the gospel by giving people the opportunity to find out more. And then very aggressively invite people back. Just had an email from a lady said, we didn't quite get the return that we wanted after Easter. And I emailed her back. I'm waiting to get a response saying, well, did you specifically say, we want you to come back? Sometimes we forget to be very intentional. Your welcome, your kindness, this should have paved the way. But specifically invite them back. And I made a whole little series of cards for you. You want to really make mom happy? Come back to church next Sunday. You can put these in the bulletin, inserts, postcards, emails. You want to be winsome, but you also want to be persistent. And here again, I made a variety of them up for you. But let people know we want to see you again. We don't want to pile on the guilt. We don't want to, any of those kind of things. But this is important. Come back, join us. We'd love to have you here in church again, and not just on Mother's Day. As a closing challenge, be sure you give people more ways, or just ways in general, to find out about Jesus, to find out about the gospel, and an invitation to join Mom on a continuing spiritual journey. Flowers are wonderful and chocolate is a joy, but the best thing a child or a spouse can give a mother is faith in Jesus. May the Lord really bless you as you communicate on Mother's Day, and know that I'm always there for you at effectivechurchcom.com. That's your source for church communications, training, and resources and inspiration to help your church fully fulfill the great